Yep. Good evening, everyone. So I will give first an overview of our course, what we are going to deal in this React. Then we will technically start understanding all the concept. So first I will give an overview of the concept. To deal with this React, the basic requirements, the prerequisites for this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the basic. These are mandatory to learn React. Here we are not going to learn any of, going to just use this. So this is not class about teaching you HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we are not going to teach you anything here about HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We are going to use it. So to attend these sessions, you must have a prior knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And JavaScript, you need to have complete knowledge of JavaScript. Anyhow, while dealing with any topic in our React, if you are not completely aware of it and you have any doubts in that topic, I will explain those JavaScript topics detailedly, then we will use them in React. So any such topics which are advanced, which you haven't explored earlier, you don't know about them, but we have to use in React, such topics, what we will do, we will discuss detailedly in a React session. We will do that. So we don't teach JavaScript, HTML, CSS here. So we directly deal with React, and you must have prior knowledge of that. So I hope everyone is clear, because many people have doubt like, so will you teach JavaScript here? This is not JavaScript class. We are going to use React directly. You should have prior knowledge of JavaScript. Many people have doubt like, I am not aware of CSS, Bootstrap. I don't know UI designing. Remember one point, who is a React developer? Do you know? I will explain. Technically, I will tell you. Do you know? Do you have any awareness? Who is React developer? A React developer is a very high level front-end developer. And how come you can say that I don't know CSS, Bootstrap, and I am a high level front-end developer? That's not justifying. That means many people say that I don't know proper CSS, I don't know proper Bootstrap. So, and I am a React developer. That doesn't justify, because React developer is a very high-end front-end developer. That means his job is building very interactive user interface. How come you can build interactive user interface without CSS, Bootstrap, and all? So for learning, you don't need them, but for working in real time, you need them. So it is mandatory. You have to make sure that you have good idea of CSS, Bootstrap, and along with that other, I will give idea of few of other things here like Tailwind CSS, SAS, how they use here, but they are mandatory, right? So you cannot call yourself as a React developer without having complete knowledge of front-end tools, because React is used to build interactive user interfaces, and you can't build only with React. You need a combination of various. So that's the reason you must have knowledge, right? So if anyone don't have any knowledge on Bootstrap and all such things, I will post some documents and playlists of our Naresh IT YouTube channels where we have Bootstrap sessions. You can go through them and you can practice them, because we regularly use them in our React. So here, so this is first prerequisite. I hope everyone is clear, right? So I hope everyone is already aware of these things, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And next important is, in this course, we are going to learn everything from a basic to advanced. Basic to advanced level, every concept of React we are going to learn here. That means many people have doubt like in React, will you teach this topic, right? So here we are going to learn every topic which is needed for a real-time development. In real-world development process, whatever concepts are used in React JS to build applications, all we are going to use. Like we will learn Redux. So we will learn about how to use React Native mobile environment and all. So we will learn all the basic to advanced topics, everything. Detailed course content I will share with you in a WhatsApp community. Our admin will share a detailed course content. One catalog he will upload. You go through the document today. At the end of the session or tomorrow we will share an WhatsApp community to you. You can join. There we will upload the complete course content. Once go through that complete detailed course content. Detailed course content of React.js. So this is React.js related complete course content actually. Yeah, this is the React.js related concepts. All the detailed concepts step by step. So subtopics, topics, everything are detailedly mentioned here. This document we will share with you. Right? So whatever topics are defined here, everything we are going to learn. So all these concepts are required. These are all the topics designed as per industry requirements. So what we need as a React developer for real world projects, those all concepts are there. Detailedly, I will upload that document. You can go through that, right? So another point is here we will work with two basic projects I will tell you. That means we will do two projects in class. In class, we will do two projects and two other projects I will guide you. I will guide you means you have to do by yourself with my 20-30% of guidance in that. Two projects end to end I will build here and show you so that you can practice them. You can. So the project's intention is not a real live project here. So it is intention is to understand how to use every concept that we have learned in React. Right? In React, whatever topics we learned, how to use them in building a real world application, those we will see with two projects. So I will guide you in class projects. These are two other projects I will give you for your practice sake. So with documentation and sample code so that you can develop them by yourself, right? So by the end of React, we are going to deal with almost 4 sample projects we will do, simple applications. So simple to little complex applications. Actually, in this, we will use a MERN stack. That means generally when people learn about React to handle database interactions, data and all, they use temporary JSON servers. In that JSON server, they host the data and they access the data and use the data. But we will not do only that. What we will do is we will create a complete project with a complete front-end and back-end integration. That means I hope you people are already aware. M is for MongoDB. MongoDB, we will use MongoDB as database. E for Express.js. This is for creating and handling APIs, middleware. And we will use React.js for the front end, and N is for Node.js. Node.js for server-side programming. So we will build projects using a MERN stack. Using a MERN stack, we are going to build the projects. So we will learn everything in this. So that means what is needed for MongoDB, Express.js, and Node.js for building a complete end-to-end application, those topics we will discuss. So, but actually, this is not MongoDB class or Node.js class. This is React.js. But additionally, we will guide you in this building an application end-to-end with this database, middleware, and server side. So we are going to build the projects with complete MERN stack integration. That means with the real database, with real server side. If I show with this, you can integrate with your other technologies. Slight changes will be there in your technologies. Like if you are a Java developer, you can integrate with Java. You are a .NET developer, you can integrate with .NET. PHP, Python, all these people, you can integrate your backend technologies with this. So once you know one backend and API how to handle, you can easily manage others also, right? So this is a simple overview of our course content. That means what we are going to learn, what are the prerequisites, everything. Detailed course content, you go through the catalog I will upload. And if you have any doubts in that content, then in the next session, we can clarify that, right? Is it clear? Right. So we are dealing with some projects, topic wise, module wise, some concepts we will learn here detailing. And after that, you will also learn about building application, testing application, and deploying also. All these three things we will learn. That means you will learn how to build the projects. You will learn how to test it, unit testing. Generally, how testing happens in a application you will learn, and how deploying. Deploying means we will host on cloud environments. How to deploy on cloud so that it can go live. We can deploy on GitHub pages. We can deploy on Firebase or Netlify. So AWS, Azure, so many multi-cloud environments are there. We can deploy them. So we are going to learn complete building, testing, and deployment. You will learn testing also. Testing means how to test the logic that we written. Is it satisfying the client requirement, what he is expecting, what you design matching. So for that, actually, we use for building, we are using various tools. That means to build React application, we will use various tools like we use Webpack. We will use tools like Parcel. One is enough actually, Parcel, Webpack, White. Actually, these are the tools used by developers to build an application. Web applications are built by using the tools like Webpack, Parcel, and White. These are bundling tools. These are the tools professionally used to build web applications. We build web applications professionally end to end by using these tools. So what are those? Webpack, Parcel, White, so many are there. We are going to use this Webpack. I will show you in Webpack. Similarly, others also will be there. So this is for building. And for testing, we are going to learn about Just framework. Just is a framework used for testing. Testing of applications we do by using Just. So there are so many testing frameworks available. We use this Just framework for that. And for deploying, so we can deploy on Git. We can deploy on Firebase. We can deploy on AWS and Azure like. But all I will not give here. Only one, two I will explain. Others, I will give a documentation you have to follow. Everything is not possible to do. So these are the basic things of our course. So we are not just learning how to build. We are going to learn building, testing, and deployment. We are not just building only front end. Actually, React is only front end, but we are going to build a complete app with React as front end. That means we will use end-to-end application development there, right? So this is clear. I hope you are clear about this, right? Next, important after understanding these points, now we can technically go into the concept. That means now we can technically start understanding what is React, how to use that and all, right? The first question here is, so what is React? So what is this React? So what is the concept of React and what actually it is? So the answer for this is React is a JavaScript library. It is a JavaScript library. So use it to build user interfaces. Actually, Recently, they changed the definition, use it to build UI for web and native. Use it to build, you can say native, use it to build native and web UI. So React is a JavaScript library. It is a JavaScript library used to build web and native UI, user interface. This is their recent definition. So earlier they used to say that React is a JavaScript library for building user interface. So building views, they call them as. Just 1-2 years back, their definition is that, so we are the library, we are a JavaScript library to build views. View is nothing but user interface, building UI. But now recently React has changed their complete library. I will explain the versions. We will discuss that. Recently they changed from 1 year onwards, last few months onwards, React changed completely. Changed completely means they changed their official resource also. That means they changed their official website also. Their community also is using some new concept I will show you. And in that, what is React is? React is a JavaScript library used for building good UI for web applications, and native application means mobile applications. That means for mobile and web applications. So to create good user interface, so we use the library called React. React is a library. You know, in software technologies, we have languages, library, and framework. We have library, language, framework. So generally, in a real world development process, so we have several basic concepts here. So we have this clarity is very important. So we have language, so we have a library, and we have a framework. Software development involves these three things actually. Software development involves so language, library, and framework. I hope you people are aware of this difference. You know the difference. What is the role of language? Role of language in an application development. What is the role of a language in application development? So the role of language is to implement the communication between the user and the app. What is the role of language? The role of language is to implement communication between user and the app. We implement the communication between user will ask something, it will respond something. You input, it will give you output, it will process that input. That means the role of language is to implement the communication between the user and the app. But to design complete communication with a language, it is very difficult because some functionalities we need several places. Then again and again writing them, using them is a difficult thing. That is the reason we use libraries. Libraries are nothing but libraries provide you a factory of built-in functions. Library provides a factory of built-in functions. That means already functions are present. What you have to do, just implement the functions, customize them according to your requirement, and you develop an app. So with a language, it will take a lot of time to build an app. With a library, it is little easy. Why? Because library provides you predefined services and functions. By using these functions and services, you can build one application. So library will simplify the building of application. And what is framework? Language and library can build application, but they cannot control the application flow. They cannot control the application flow. They can build app. They cannot control the flow. Means when to bring the data from a database, how to bring the data from a database, where to show the data, where to store the data. All this communication, it cannot manage. Library language cannot manage. For that, we need frameworks. Frameworks are used to control the flow in an application. You can build application and you can control the application flow by using what? Framework. For example, you are a learner of Java. So Java is your language. Language is not enough for a developer. To build apps, you need to learn libraries and framework. If you go to company for job, they will ask what frameworks you know. Java frameworks means Spring, Hibernate, so microservices. .NET frameworks means ASP.NET, ASP.NET MVC. So Python frameworks mean Django, Flask, right? So Ruby, Ruby on Rails. These are all frameworks. You can't build an app with just a language. You need a combination of language, library, and framework. Frameworks are used to control the flow of application. They are used to control the flow of application. So remember, if anybody asks you, can I build an app with React JS? Can I build an app with React JS? You can't. How you can build? It's a library. So to build an app, you need to control the flow also. That means a complete app means you need to control the flow. You need to control the flow. And the library cannot control the flow. Library can only design. It cannot control the flow. App requires a language, requires a library, and requires a framework. With only React.js, you can build interface. React.js is used to build user interfaces. It is not to build a complete application. And to build a complete application, it needs help of frameworks. React.js also uses some frameworks. It uses frameworks like Next.js. Next.js is one framework of React. So it is used for building an application. I will give you introduction about that framework because it is again big concept. Framework learning is a big concept, but I will give you introduction about how we use different frameworks in React.js. React.js is a library, but along with React.js, we use different frameworks. We require different frameworks. Only React.js cannot build an app. That is very much, you should be clear. So to build an app, we need a language, library, and framework, right? And that is the key point actually. For example, see, so React is a library. We can build the user interfaces. So many times people have a doubt like, so what is difference between React and Angular? They usually compare these two regularly. What is difference between React and Angular? Like just one point of concept here is, generally React and Angular are not choices for developer. So developers have choice like, so that means many people come and ask, which one is best? Is it React or Angular? Which one I have to learn as a developer? That means Java, .NET, PHP, Python, all these developers need these to learn. The doubt for them is it Angular or React? Remember one point, React, Angular are not choice. For an experienced developer in software companies as a web developer, React and Angular both are required. So we are very much surprised who made this choice and told you. You people come and ask like, sorry, React best or Angular best? Which one I have to learn? For fresher, anyone is okay. For an experienced person, not okay. For an experienced person, both are required. You are a Java developer, you need React, you need Angular. You are a .NET developer, you need React, you need Angular. I don't know from where this choice came. We are not sure about that, right? But people are trying to make a choice between React and Angular, remember it is not choice, it is React and Angular, not React or Angular. Right? For example, so that means I will give a simple live point here. Suppose we have this, let's see the Naukri. In the Naukri, so we are saying full stack Java developer. Suppose we are searching for Java developer. You search .NET, Java, full stack, any developer. So, and you can see that. So Java developer experience means TCS. They are asking for what? React.js. They are asking for React.js in TCS. So, and you see, I will scroll down to other requirements here. That means, so they are asking for React developer and some other companies means detailedly I given Java developer, full stack Java developer. Yeah. And you see in some of these requirements, Java developer means I'm trying to show you some roles with both of them. We can filter that, but yeah. This is Java full stack developer. Yeah. Means I'm just giving you a clarity about the concept of the choice actually. Spring Boot. Yeah, you see both are required. Java full stack developer, some company is hiring experienced people and they're asking React Angular. Not choice. It's not React or Angular. It is not React or Angular. That means it is not a choice. It is not a choice. You see, some Java projects are asking for Angular and some are asking for React Angular. See, React Angular, both are there. For an experienced person, it's not a choice. For experienced person, it is not a choice. That means because generally many people are not completely aware of technical. Just they make some choices like React is trending, Angular is trending. That's nothing like that. Because do you know what is why we need React and Angular? What is the choice between that is, do you know? The difference actually is, what is React? React is Angular is a framework. Is a framework. React is not a framework. React uses, it's a library. It uses some frameworks internally. React don't have frameworks. React is not a framework, it's a library. Angular is a framework. So who is large? Angular is larger than, so this one. That means, see, technically many people compare which is not good to compare actually. So for example, some Java language is compared with .NET. Right? Java language is compared with .NET. Seriously, that means you don't know the technology. Because Java is a language and .NET is a development platform. Why you are comparing a language with a platform? You compare your Java language with a language of .NET called C#. Don't compare with .NET. Java is not .NET comparison. Java technologies, .NET technologies, that looks okay. Java, .NET, it's not comparison. Many people don't know that. They compare Java language with a .NET. No, in .NET there is a language called C#. You compare with that. Not entire technology. Right? So Angular, React, what is the main difference is Angular is a framework. It's very big. Angular is a framework. So Angular is a framework. It is larger than React. It is larger than React. That means it can build the application. It can control the application flow. But React cannot do that. For that, it need help of frameworks. It need help of frameworks. So then the point is, then you may say that then Angular is better. But Angular is not better every time. Why? Because now the question is, so for whom we need this Angular and React? That means now which project needs Angular? Which project needs React? That means how we choose as an Angular or React. You are a Java developer or a .NET developer or a Python developer. You have to build one application. In that, whether you need Java, whether you need React or Angular, that you have to decide. That means they will decide according to the requirements. The point is simple. We plan. That means generally what we are doing is we are planning. That means suppose you are Java or you are .NET or you are PHP or you are Python people. Now what you are doing is you are planning. So 70% all backend. That means the backend, 70% backend server side development happens. Many projects, 70% backend development happens. Means everything will be in the backend. That means their main components, resources, everything they keep in the backend. They handle a lot of backend interactions. And only 30%, they depend on front end. They depend on front end. And what they want is this 30% front end, they want interactive. That means they don't need to control. That means here, what they are doing is in the backend, they are already using frameworks. In the backend, they are already using frameworks to control the flow. They handle the interactions and everything. Then what they need in the front end? In the front end, they need a good user interface. That is only the reason they need the good front end. Then in this case, we can recommend them to use a React.js. That means already you have a lot of your frameworks. Already you have frameworks. Java people have frameworks. .NET people have frameworks. They all control the flow. They build the application. They do everything in the backend. And their point is only front end. They want some interactive user interface. Then in that case, we recommend what for that? React.js. Okay, now what they are doing is they are planning to reduce the backend. That means we say that suppose, so 40% to 50%, 40 to 50% only we use backend. We don't rely all the frameworks in the backend. So we don't want everything in the backend to leverage all the benefits of front end. We can use a lot of front end also. Now the point is, majority what you are trying to do is you are trying to share with the front end also. That means 40 to 50, that means here 60, 50 to 60%, 50 to 60% you are trying to do in the front end. That means now what is your main idea is backend limited and front end we will control everything. Then you need a framework in the front end because you are trying to reduce the usage of frameworks and implementations in the backend. Then you need a framework in the front end. In such cases, which one is better? Angular. Angular is better. That means you are planning for a complete flow to control in the front end, then better use a framework in the front end. So that is what Angular is. Angular is. That is the reason Java projects use React Angular. .NET projects use both React Angular. Every web technology use both React Angular. That means for an experienced person when they are hiring, so we are not sure in which project we push them. And he must be ready with both. He must know React as well as Angular because some projects use React, some projects use Angular. So React and Angular is not a choice. It's not React or Angular. It is React and Angular. Right? For a fresher, anyone is an add-on. That means a fresher says, I know Angular. Okay, good. We say that I know React. It's okay, fine, no problem. Because for a fresher, everything is just add-on. We will train them into the concept what we need in our project. Right? Just he is having a knowledge of this, very good. That's enough. Right? So we are not very much concerned. But for experienced people, we are very much concerned. For this project, I need Java with React people only. For this project, I need Java with Angular only. No, I am not sure about my projects where I push them. I want to recruit people who can work in both places. Then I need both Angular and React. That is very important, right? So I hope you are clear. So React is a library and Angular is a framework. So this is actually the React official what they say. This is React. So what is React? It is a library for web and native user interface. It is not for building app. It is a library for web and native user interface, native related to mobile, right? Okay. That is another clarity you need. What is React? What is Angular difference? I hope you are clear about that. Next important. So is there any difference? So between React and React.js? This doubt usually come to everyone because Angular and AngularJS are different. Because AngularJS is different, Angular is different. That is the reason many times people are confused. Is React and React.js both same or different? Actually, so there is no difference. React and React.js both are same. Only the point in modern we call React. We don't call as React.js. Earlier we used to call React.js because we use React only with JavaScript. Now we use React with TypeScript also. Here we will learn React with both JavaScript, TypeScript. I will teach you TypeScript as a language and we will use TypeScript also. That means in React, we are going to learn two languages with JavaScript, another one with TypeScript. JavaScript you should learn and come. TypeScript I will teach you here. TypeScript we will learn that language and we will build applications using TypeScript and JavaScript. Both we will see. That means in projects we need both. That is the reason from recent modern generation onwards, we are not calling as React.js, we are calling as React. Why? Because it is used with JavaScript as well as with TypeScript also. AngularJS both are not same. They are different. AngularJS is a legacy version of Angular. After that, they rebuilt a new version, a alternative called Angular. AngularJS, Angular are different. If you see in any project, they are asking for AngularJS. That means that is not Angular. That is different. Many old companies, old projects, they still need AngularJS, which is not Angular. That is completely different actually. You have to be very careful. Are they asking Angular or AngularJS? That is different. React.js, no issue. Both are same. So there is no difference between React and React.js, right? Right. Next, one more important doubt comes is what is React Native? What is React Native? React Native is nothing but actually it is a mobile framework for React. It is a mobile framework for React. That means remember, many times people come and ask like, will you teach React Native? We will not teach React Native. We will teach how to use React in React Native. That means we will see introduction about that because it is a framework generally it is a framework we use for building mobile interface. To build mobile interface, what you need? To build a mobile app, what you need? To build a mobile app, obviously you need Android, iOS. That means people who know Android and iOS like development. That means people who learn Android and iOS like development, they can use this React Native as a front-end tool to build the user interface. That means if you don't have any awareness on Android iOS development, you cannot use React Native. That means people who learn React, they can easily handle this React Native. It is React Native is nothing but a special framework library combination they have built to create good interfaces for mobile environment. For Android, iOS people, this React Native is used, right? We will learn introduction to this. That means how it is used, I will show you, but that requires knowledge of Android and iOS. React Native runs on the top of Android and iOS apps. That means people who are learning building Android and iOS apps, those people use this React Native in the front end. They will not use directly React. They will use React Native. Reactive, it is for building mobile apps. It is for building mobile. Web application means we can use, so web front end for web application means only React is enough. But React Native is good for building this. Actually, we have alternatives also. It is not just only React Native. We have so many other alternatives. You can also use, so you can also use Ionic native script. So you can use so many others. Ionic is a framework. Native script is a framework. That means this is used for building Android, iOS apps, mobile apps with React. It is not just only React Native. We have some frameworks like, so we have frameworks like Ionic framework. This is Ionic framework. So this is Ionic framework. It is a mobile development. So that means cross-platform mobile apps with Angular, React, Vue we can build. We can build cross-platform mobile apps using these frameworks. There are so many frameworks. React Native is something like that, right? So this is the basic, right? I hope you are clear, right? So what is React? React is a library for building UI for web and native. Can you build an app with React? No, we can build only interface. And to build an app, we need combination of various frameworks, right? That's very important. And difference between Angular and React. So, and is there any difference between React JS and React? There is no difference. It is React, right? Next, another option is, so which version? So of React we are going to deal. Which React version? Which React version we are going to deal? Actually, here some changes are there. That means, remember React up to 17, React up to 17x, 17 version, 17x. React up to 70 verse X is legacy. It is legacy. So React up to 17x version is legacy. Legacy means it is no longer recommended. It is no longer recommended. Companies may be still using this. It is legacy now. It is no longer recommended. So React 18x is latest. 18x is latest. And actually React 19 is in the timeline and it is ready to come. By the time we finish this course, we may have a React 19 also. React 19 is already in the timeline. It is already in the development phases and it is ready to release. So we will see by the time, so within a fraction of 15 to 20 days or 1 month. So 19 we are expecting. Actually their official date is November. On November they are planning to release that, but we are not sure. So, but 19 is ready. A development trial version of React 19 is ready for developers to test it. It is already being tested by developers, but it is not a version to implement in real time. So currently real-time projects, 2 categories are there. Up to 17 different and 18 different. Remember, React 18 is completely reconstructed. Generally, what people think new version means it is little advanced to the old version. No, it is complete redesign. React 18 is completely redesigned by React community. They have completely reconstructed with new library. The library changed, and in 19 compiler is also being changed. In 19 they are making changes in the new compiling system. They are adding a new compiling system into React 19, which will be a revolutionary change, because changing a compiling system is not an easy thing and it is not regularly done. That means we change the components, interfaces, we don't change compilers. We are changing the compiler means it's a huge task. That means you are taking chance. That means you are making a revolutionary change. Then you will change the compiling system. That means every year a car will release a new car model, but their engine is same. They don't change the engine. I hope you people know. The engine is same. And when compiling system is changing means drastic changes will come. And means changes in terms of performance, changes in terms of compiling, and everything will change. In React 19, they are changing the compiling system. We don't need to worry about that because currently active latest version is React 18. And we are going to learn both overview I will give you. In 17, how they used to build, how they build, and in 18, how they build. These two overview I will give. We will learn complete 18, but I will show you 17 before we get into 18 first. I will show you overview. Why? Because even you learn 18 of React in some companies, still you have to work on 17, 16 versions of React. And unfortunately, what happens is many people are not aware. So because many people are not aware of version changes and all. So actually, when you learn React, generally when we deal with React, so React up to 17 version, people use lot of classes. That means JavaScript classes for building apps, building user interface components. They use what? They use class. But React 18X and higher versions, we recommend using functions, not classes. But we will learn both, how to use classes and functions. React community officially avoids using classes, but our experienced people still work with them because their projects already using them. And many people even ask that, will you teach classes and functions? We will learn both. We will learn with classes and we will learn with functions, but our priority in the modern React is functions, not classes. That means actually, I will give you here. So one is what? Pure and impure component. Yeah. You see here, I will show you the React community about this to make you understand the concept. Pure components. Yeah. You see, this is the point actual. This is the concept. You see, class components are still supported by React, but we don't recommend using them in the new code. That is official. That means official React community says that we still support your classes and your design because that is the old technique you are doing, but we don't recommend this anymore for modern React. Modern React doesn't recommend using of classes. Earlier, I will tell you all interview questions and answers we will see. Earlier in interviews, they used to ask, what is difference between class and function in designing some components? So then people have complaint on functions saying that function cannot do this, function cannot do that. Class can do this, class can do that. That is the reason we are using classes. But in modern React, they made possible everything with function. So you don't need a class. You don't need a class. So whatever you can do with that function, that is enough for app. You don't need a class anymore. That's the reason official React community is not recommending classes. So, but still we will learn how to use class components as well as what? Function components. Means how to use them. Both we will learn about that because this is also asked regularly. So now which version of React you are going to deal? React 18. And actually the old version is legacy. This is legacy actually. This is legacy. I will give you both websites so that you can get a clarity. This is legacy and this is modern. So React Dev. This is the modern. This is modern actually. This is modern here. I will give you both of them. That means, as I told you, they completely changed it. That means earlier their help website is this. What is that? reactjs.org. And now it is changed to React Dev because they changed it completely changed it, recreated. Remember, if a version is extended with new features, that's easy to handle. But if a version is completely reconstructed, several new things will be there to learn. That is the reason people already who know React with old version, they need to upgrade themselves with the several new features, several new concepts, which are not similar anymore. They are not just extension. There is complete rewritten. Means even library that they import, that name changed. That means which library they used to use, which class they used to use, those changed. So that means there are a lot of changes in this. You can see that this is the legacy version and this is no longer updated and the future is what? This one. But and see what is their previous definition. React, a JavaScript library for building user interface. Now they improved it for building web and native. Web and native. They added more features to the native community. That is very important. So this is the point about React. I hope you are clear, right? So is it clear with all this? Right. Now next option, next important question here is, so why we need React? Why we need React? Because remember, jQuery is also a library. You know jQuery? So out of 100 means, see, out of 100%, 80, 90%, 90% of internet is occupied with jQuery. 90% of web projects use jQuery only jQuery, even today. Now people are migrating from jQuery to Angular, React, Vue like technologies. That means how many applications are using React.js, you can count in number. That means how many Angular apps are there, how many React apps are there, you can count. You can count. How many jQuery apps are there? Millions. Millions. From past 15, 25 years, we are using jQuery for web. Every day, millions of websites are coming new and all are built with jQuery. Now you are migrating. That means React and Angular are not occupied most of web. So they are, you can count them. For example, what are the popular apps built with React.js? Amazon. Amazon is built with React.js. Netflix is built with React.js. Facebook is built with React.js. Instagram is built with React.js. Like that, we can tell a number of 20, 30 popular ones in React. But jQuery, everything else is jQuery. Any website you open, jQuery, everything jQuery on. Now we are migrating from jQuery to React, and Vue and Angular. So rest of all, everything is jQuery. jQuery is also library. That means interviewer will ask you like jQuery is also library, React is also library, jQuery is a library. So it is a JavaScript library. jQuery is a library. This is jQuery. It is a JavaScript library. So this is also a JavaScript library. jQuery is also a JavaScript library. So all up, if you open any app code, means you open any website and see their code, you will see all jQuery logic will be there, majority. That means majority. So the point is now we are migrating to React and Angular like. Now the question is why we need React Angular like technologies? Means we can say React or Angular like libraries and frameworks. Why you need them? Remember, the evolution of React and Angular are only from 2014. 2014 only. That means they are from 2014 only. 2010, 2014. Before that, they are after all from 2014. That means almost only 10 years now of React or Angular. Their evolution. They born 10 years back, right? Then the point here is, then before 10 years back, lot of web is there. That means why we need React now? All these days what we are doing? That means all these days what we are doing and why we need React now? Why we need this, right? That is very important. We need to understand that. So that is important. Why we need React or Angular like libraries, right? So for this, you need to understand what is the answer to, you can say that to address the challenges in modern web development. To address the challenges in modern web development. So React or Angular like libraries are required to address the challenges in modern web development. Now the question is, what are the challenges in modern web development? Modern web development. What are the challenges in modern web development? That means we are building applications. We are building applications for web from several years, right? Now, what are the challenges in the modern web development? So that means, you see, people who already working in web development for more than 7, 8, 10 years also, means already they are web developers. They are learning web designing, they are doing web designing, web development and everything. Even those people, so they attend our batches of UI, full stack and all this. That means they are already web developers. They are already developing apps from more than 5, 10 years. They are doing it. Now, why they are again joining the web development? That means they are joining the new web development courses. Why? Because the modern web development changed. It is not just like how they used to do. That means 10 years back, what you in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, those all gone now. Not gone means we are more advanced now. That knowledge is not enough. That knowledge is not enough to handle the modern web. The modern web is very difficult to handle. And the legacy knowledge is not enough. That means 10 years back, you learned HTML. You don't know much then. So 10 years back, you learned JavaScript. 5 years back, you learned JavaScript. So now JavaScript has so many new things you should know. So now CSS has several new things you should know. Now HTML has several new things you should know. Right? That means the point is, What are the main challenges in modern web development? What are the issues? The first important challenge in the modern web development is that is unified user experience. The first important challenge is unified user experience. A unified user experience. This is the first basic challenge. What is a unified user experience? Let's see. So what is this concept? What is unified user experience means? For example, suppose we will discuss one point here. Suppose we have a YouTube. Now, actually, we are watching this YouTube on device. So we are watching this YouTube on a PC or a laptop like device. Now, you know that now the ratio, that means 80% of users are currently using mobiles and tab-like devices. Will you agree that? That means what changed in modern web? What changed in modern web is you just access everything from your mobile. Earlier, we need to go to a cyber cafe, internet point, pay. We paid 100 rupees per hour. 100 rupees per hour using internet. Right? That means we used to pay, we used to use internet. Right? Now, what is modern web? 80-90% users are using web from mobile. Then what is point here? The point is very simple. How this YouTube can come onto your mobile? That means actually in the beginning of smartphones, what these YouTube people done in the beginning of smartphones, what they have done is they started optimizing YouTube. They started optimizing the site. They will see that somebody is requesting from mobile. Then they optimize YouTube and they send to mobile. Optimizing means they will compress and they will send a compressed version to the mobile. I am talking about the situation where we don't have YouTube app. So if you use smartphones without YouTube app, if you are from that generation, you know this. If you are from the generation of YouTube app in your mobiles, then you don't know this. Because when we used our smartphones, we used smartphones without YouTube app. And we have to open YouTube on a browser called Opera Mini. Opera Mini was very popular browser at that time. So which is used on mobiles. And what is problem in optimizing? So what is optimizing? Optimizing means what? You are compressing and making that fit onto mobile-like environment. Then what is problem is mobile users have some complaint. What is the complaint? Mobile users have a complaint like one option that I see in my PC, this option is missing here. I'm unable to use it. Then those people give an answer like, because you are using mobile, you can't do this here. That is the answer. But now it should not be that answer. Like what it should be, how I experience an website in my PC or laptop, the same experience I need in a mobile. That means same experience I need in a mobile. That means all features should work in a similar way. Every feature should work. Same experience I need. This is called unified. Unified user experience means an app and website should have same experience everywhere. But remember, you may ask like, so if you ask like, can we build a mobile app? They say that, no, I don't want a mobile app. I want your app in such a way that it have good experience in a mobile. We don't want mobile app. Why? Because mobile app again problem, Android, iOS native will come. We don't want mobile app. We want an app in such a way that it can easily fit onto devices like mobile and other environments. That means an application should have same experience across every device, which is not possible by optimizing. We were earlier optimizing. Now, designing an application with unified experience is a big challenge for developer. It's not easy. What do you think it is easy? It's not easy. It is not easy to build an app in such a way that it will fit onto the device you are watching. You are seeing weather forecast. You can see weather forecast on your PC. You can see on mobile. You can see on tab. You can see on smart watch. In a smart watch also it should fit. That means it's not easy. It's a very challenging one for web developers. For web developers, one of the biggest challenge is achieving unified user experience. Unified user experience. This is the biggest. Second one is fluid user experience. Second one is fluid user experience. Fluid user experience. What is this fluid user experience is nothing but, for example, suppose I open some Google. In Google, I'm searching for some React.js. I got some results. And when I scroll down, you can see at the bottom page numbers are there. Now, how come a mobile user can use that page number? That means you are watching the same on a mobile. Even today, several websites that you open in your mobile, you are unable to touch one button, zoom and touch. Are you doing that? Anywhere are you zooming and touching a button? Then that is not fluid experience. If you are doing that, that is not fluid experience. Fluid experience is not that. That means you see, how can anybody touch this small to link? That means we need to zoom it and we need to touch it. We need to zoom it and touch it. That is not good. But observe carefully, when I go to the same concept in image search, in image search, they designed a fluid experience. Fluid experience means millions of images will come, but no page number, everything on one page. And observe carefully, when you scroll down, the next content will be loading. Am I right? When you scroll down, next content will be loading. Your Facebook, your Amazon, all these people look like this. You scroll up and down only. There is no page numbers. Do you know earlier in Facebook used to have next post, previous post, but now you don't have them. You just scroll up and down. That means there is no next, no previous. There is no page number. Everything is one page. This type of experience is called as what? Fluid user experience. Designing a fluid user experience also not easy. These terms may look simple. Developing an app with fluid experience, with unified experience is not easy. These are major challenges. Another important, we need loosely coupled and extensible. Loosely coupled and extensible. Loosely coupled extensible is nothing but without disturbing the existing infrastructure and ecosystem of an app, we should be able to add new features into app. That is the challenging one. That is not easy. For example, you are using a lot of apps on your mobiles. What you are doing, you are installing an app. Facebook you installed, Instagram you installed, WhatsApp you have installed. They have to add one new feature after a few months. Then will they ask you to reinstall? No. You just leave the application for idle for some time. They will push a new update into it. That means now the key point here is, see, you have an app here. This app is having some feature 1 and feature 2. Now what you are doing is you are building a feature 3 remotely, separate. You are building a feature 3 separately. You are building it, you are testing it. After building and testing, you are pushing this into this app, which is already being used. And do you know, in software development, such new plugins, when you add, it leads to catastrophic failures. Catastrophic failures means sudden failure of an application due to some new plugin. This is very common. This is very challenging. This is not easy. That means designing an app in such a way that it can take any plugin directly and start working. That is so great, genius. That means, do you know earlier you used to restart your device after installing a software? These days you are not doing that. I hope you people know. Do you know in mobile, when you just have two options, install, open. Do you know earlier we have to install and restart? Even today, when you install any update on OS, you have to restart. Right? Do you know why to restart? Because the new files that are downloaded, they are not added into registry of your operating system, then that software is not recognized. They need to be registered into the registry. That will happen only at the time of booting the device. That is the reason new app you installed is not ready to use when you don't restart. But without restarting, it is working. That means they are talking to registry. They are adding new features without disturbing the existing. They are adding new features without leading to catastrophic failures. That's very good. This is very big challenge. These days, everybody wants an app like that. That means they are using, just push the new feature into this. This is called as what? Loosely coupled and extensive. These are the major challenges. So many others are there, but these main challenges. So unified experience and fluid experience and loosely coupled and extensible. Everybody wants an app like that. A hospital person will come and ask us to build an app for his business. We will ask him, do you want a mobile app? He will say, no, I don't want a mobile app, but it should fit perfectly for mobile. He don't want a mobile app. Mobile app is different again, right? They want same, but they have to fit into this. And he will say that I need to push latest update, something new, add features. This is all challenging. Now tell me, what is the solution? That means how you can achieve all this: unified experience, fluid experience, loosely coupled and extensible architecture. How you can achieve this? So the solution is by building SPA. That is single page application, single page applications, and PWA, progressive web application, progressive web applications. This is the solution. That means we can build single page applications and we can build progressive web applications. This is the solution. Single page application is a solution for all these problems. And now the question is, what is this single page application? Remember, it is not a new concept. It is there from several years. It is trending now. That means it is already there from several years. We used to build single page applications, so many. World's first single page application, very popular, was Twitter. You know Twitter. Twitter is a single page application. Before React, Angular like technologies born, we have Twitter. You know Twitter is there before Angular and React. Right? Single page applications were there, but they are trending. Now they are trending. We ignored them earlier. Now this came into the front. That means these are very much trending. That means better build a single page application instead of building a traditional web application. Traditional web application contains pages. Single page application contains one page. You will access everything on that page. User will stay on only one page and he can access everything on that page. There will be no multiple pages. That is the nature of single page application. And better you build single page application for modern web. Modern web requires single page application, and single page application internally have unified experience. They have fluid experience. They already have loosely coupled and extensible architecture. They all facilitate this. They are all the advantage of that. Now the question here is, you see single page application, progressive web application. Progressive web application means app-like experience in a browser. You will not feel like you are using a website. You will feel like you are using an app. They are more advanced actually. Single page application, more advanced is progressive. Progressive application. That means I will show you here. You know Visual Studio Code, right? You see this is a Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code online. This is online Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code online. Online is there. You see online Visual Studio Code. This is Visual Studio Code online. I open this vscode.dev. You see it looks like an app inside. That means it looks like an app. It doesn't look like a website. It's an app. That means you can create projects. You can open folders. It looks like an app. And this is not a single page application. This is not a single page application. We call this as what? Progressive. Progressive web application. That means you can have a Photoshop like in a browser. That is very complicated. You can have a Visual Studio Code like in browser. That's very complex, right? So these are progressive web applications actually. Now the question here is how to build SPA and progressive web applications. How to build them? I hope you are following the order. First point, why you need to learn React. We have to learn React and Angular like technologies to overcome the challenges in modern web. What are the challenges in modern web? Fluid experience, unified experience, loosely coupled. How to overcome these challenges? By developing single page applications. How you will build single page applications? Can you build single page applications? You can build. So you can build using JavaScript also. JavaScript, you can build with jQuery, we can build with React, Angular, Vue, all these are used. We have so many. We have Knockout.js, we have Backbone.js, we have Ember.js, all. So actually several old projects still use Backbone.js, Knockout.js. Like before Angular React was born, we were training people on Knockout.js. We trained several MNC people in our Naresh IT also. So almost 14 years back. 14 years back, we trained people on Knockout.js, right? So I was working for Microsoft and HP for, my role was train the trainers. We train trainers. We train trainers, trainer will train the developers. We train trainers for certification programs. And at that time, we trained people on Knockout.js and we thought that Knockout.js will make a trend in the market. It will be a revolutionary in the market. We thought that. But suddenly the market flipped with React and Angular because of people who are in the background of them. You know, who are background of Angular? Google. Angular belongs to Google and Facebook, React. So actually before Angular React, we were using this Knockout.js, Backbone.js. Even today, several MNC projects and old projects are still using Knockout and Backbone.js for building single page applications, right? So the point is you can build single page applications using all this. Already what you know JavaScript. Can we build single page application with JavaScript and jQuery? Yes. Then the question here is, what are issues in building a single page application with the JavaScript and jQuery? What are the issues in building a single page application with JavaScript and jQuery? If we can build with JavaScript, jQuery, why should I learn new technology? jQuery can build single page application. So then why to learn React? So JavaScript also can build single page application. Then why should I learn React? That means what are the issues with JavaScript and jQuery? So what are the issues with JavaScript and jQuery? What is the concept about this is the issues with JavaScript and jQuery. So the first important point is lot of DOM manipulations. Lot of DOM manipulations, lot of DOM interaction, DOM, right? Interactions. Later I will explain that also. So another important is lot of explicit lot of explicit ASACs. You know, user will stay on one page without disturbing the page. How you will get new details into the page? ASACs. You need lot of ASACs. Explicitly, you have to implement lot of ASACs. Lot of DOM manipulations, DOM interactions, lot of ASACs. That means it is actually heavy, slow and legacy type. Heavy, slow, legacy type. Legacy type means what? Legacy type means you load so many, but you use only few. Right? That means you will not load only what is needed. You load everything, but you will use only few. Right? Later we learn about module system. That is the reason JavaScript. Suppose you see, actually you might have learned in JavaScript. So what is the concept here? You have JavaScript. So you created a JavaScript file .js. In that we have function 1. In that we have function 2. So we have two functions. Now we have a HTML page. In this page, we want to use this function 1. Then what you will do? You have to use that function 1 in page. What you will do? Will you link the file? No. How you will link the file? That's not a great idea. That means 100 functions are there. You are using only one function. Then why you link a 100 function file? Don't you think it is heavy? Now tell me in JavaScript how you will use only that function from that file without linking the file. In JavaScript you use module systems. I hope when you learn JavaScript you know JavaScript module system. Through JavaScript module system you can import only function 1 and use it without linking the file. That is modular approach. That means these are legacy. Legacy means you put everything. Even Java.NET like technologies are legacy. They recently changed it to modular. That means all technologies are now modifying themselves into modular. Modular means only what is needed for that situation, it will be loaded. It will be used. Everything is not done. That is the concept. So these are all the drawbacks of JavaScript and jQuery. And to these all problems are solved with React.js Angular like concepts. That means now you need to understand what are the features. So that means you need to understand what are the features. Features of what? React. That we will see in next session. I hope you are clear with all these concepts. Huh? So today we don't have the community. Yeah. So these features of React we will discuss in the next session. And in the next session, you will have a clarity on React features. Then we can start practically working. Practically working means what to set up, how to install, how to use React, what React, how it works. Practically, we can start from the next session. And next session, tomorrow, we don't have session. Our next session will be on Monday. Right? Saturdays, usually we have session, but majority in this React, frequently every Saturdays, we will keep doubt sessions. Right? So, and regularly everyday doubt sessions will be there. Saturday exclusively doubt sessions will be there, but tomorrow no session because just we are having demo and our next session will be on Monday. Right? Monday we will discuss about features of React. Then we can start practically working with React. Monday I will share a WhatsApp community with you. There you can get the course content and everything. Okay, detailedly. Right? Thank you.
Recording stopped.